Hello. This is Tom from Tom and Ruth Philippine Adventures. How's everybody today? Inflation. Man, did you guys see the rate today? So inflation's is 58. So the dollar rate's 58 plus. Here I'm crying, I don't know what for. The and I was actually surprised at 58. Some people are predicting it's going to get up as high as 60, 62, 63. I don't know. I'm not into the stock market or anything about it or know anything about that. But I did some research this morning. The Philippines actually had a meeting about this yesterday, but just to kind of give an idea where I'm headed with this. Oh, by the way, I want to say this. Unvaccinated are arriving here in the Philippines. And yes, they are arriving. I had two guys. One just came out of quarantine, and one's in quarantine right now for 3 days, I think he said. So that's okay. So data from the Banco Central here, and they were looking at June and July cash remittances. They said that the OFW is going to benefit also because of the rate increase, the dollar to the peso. But meaning here, once they pick it up, doesn't mean that they're going to get benefit of that. Because an example would be a can of sardines. You can purchase and tuna and things like that have increased considerably, almost in some cases doubled than what it was 6 months ago. It depends what brands. Like oatmeal, we eat oatmeal every morning for breakfast, and that's increased a dollar a pack, increased a dollar, and it's almost $2 to $3. Well, $2.75 a bag. Okay, for oatmeal, big bag of oatmeal. It's not big. It's a bag this big. It's big for here. It's not like we get a canister of it this big in the U.S., but where I live, they don't have that available. But they're looking at it's last year, for example, the remittance centers, they remitted last year 15.3 billion uh, peso, and it was up like 3%. The thing that they're really concerned about more than anything else is purchasing goods outside the country. For example, as you know, they purchase a lot of rice outside the country. They purchase a lot of goods in general. Like a lot of coal, a lot of things that they use here, gas, fuel bags, a lot of meats from China, a lot of produce coming in from China, Thailand, Cambodia, Vietnam. Vietnam right now is the highest supplier of rice here. So they're buying more rice from Vietnam than they are anybody else, is what he said here. Now this comes from GMA. I noticed too sometimes that I have been noticing the rice, honestly, is better. It's more flavorful. We buy the jasmine rice, of course, from Vietnam. But even we always try to find the Vietnam rice more so than any other rice because it's actually better. It's not chipped up and banged up and everything like that. Omer, stop that. So I think if you really take a look at it, inflation is going to affect purchasing of breads and flour and meal and things like that. So that means chickens increase. We noticed that even buying chicken in town is almost $5 buying a chicken now, where it was $3 before. So everything is kind of doubling. So the increase is 58.16. I knew it was. I looked 3 times this morning. I actually couldn't believe it. It was up to 58.16. It's 57.99 when I went to bed last night. So it's 58.16. But their predictions are it's going to be well over 60 and reading the 61, 62 according to their predictions on this particular site I'm looking at on GMA News. They said they're trying to be prepared for this because they're actually looking at oversee the workers themselves, OFWs, and the benefits that they're going to have. But the higher prices, inflation, local economy is also going to be purchasing power when they purchase items, and they're really concerned about that, and I would be too. Now, on the other hand, if you look at it in USA standards, how long is it going to last, the dollar to peso rate? Because even in U.S., there's things that's starting to happen there. I'm not there. I don't know. I'm only getting this from people that live there that are telling me that's gone back and they're there, 6 months, a year now. Some just recently arrived in the last 3, 4 months are telling me what's going on there. They said prices are actually pretty good, fair. They're not as are here. For example, a guy was telling me yesterday, this guy's named Steve. Remember the guy that went back to the States, lost because the brother and the wife? He said that he's purchasing a lot of great produce and a lot of things like that at the market. Is good. He said even the prices at Walmart is fair where he's at in Mississippi, meaning that he said I can still go buy steak, and I get the ribeyes and the T-bones and the strip steaks and the roasts and all the stuff that he eats, and even the chicken is fairly priced. It's $3.99, $4.99, $5.99 a pound. Well, that's what it was when I left there. It's actually cheaper than what it was when I was there, and cheaper in price. I also notice now, too, I see that land has decreased considerably than what it was. Just something to do, I actually went online and looked at land, and so what the costs would be and what they were before, what they were in 18, 17, 18, and 19. And back then, lots were a lot more expensive. Now you can buy a lot right there in residential, really anywhere from $3, $5, $6, $7,000, and a nice size lot. I found an acre in Ocala, it's still for sale. They want $4,000 for 1 acre, and it's right there in Ocala, within a mile of the Walmart Supercenter, right there on the highway. And it's got power, and it has electric. It has a small building on it, and the small building has power and everything. So you can't beat that. It's a metal building. It's a metal building where you can, it's a bay doors where you can actually pull in like the big trucks and work on them. It's an old mechanic shop, and they're wanting, that's a good price for that acre. And it's not demolished or anything. It's high and dry. And I'm seeing a lot of that, and especially Texas and Arizona. My friend just got a 1 acre lot in Arizona, really cheap, under $1,000. Now it's up and outside of the way. It's out, but he's within 30 minutes of town, and water is not a problem. And I asked about the water. He said, "No, I got the water." So $1,000 for an acre there in Arizona. Some cases, depending, it's like the old Oklahoma days when they had, you put your stake here, you get free land, but that's close to it where he's at out there. They're trying to cultivate those areas and get them more. And he's going to collect rainwater and things. He said, really, water's not a problem. There is actually a well on the property. But I noticed that even here, you can dig for water here. But here's the thing about the water here, though. Where I'm at is just plentiful of water. We don't have a problem with water, but if you go into mountainous areas like in Lantapan, Malaybalay, they have a problem with water, and I'm assuming it's pumping the water up to that area or getting water because they're up on a mountain. There are a lot of spring-fed areas there, but they're not up to the capacity that they can actually take those springs and actually put water to everybody in town. It's like USA back in the 50s and 60s, maybe the 40s in a lot of areas here, because they have access to the water, but to get that down off the mountain it's going to just a big feat. It's going to take a lot of engineering and design to make that happen and to have water for everybody. Because as you know, even up on top there was a shortage of water. And I said, how can there be a shortage of water up here on the mountain? But after thinking about it, there is shortage because of that. How does that affect? That affects a lot. They won't be able to slot the money to do the things that they wanted to do because they're going to be paying a higher dollar for that inflation. A price of goods, according to what this article has said, this is on GMA News yesterday, that they're going to be paying anywhere from 10 to 15 to 20% more for the same item they paid 6 months ago, and in some cases more than that. So you can actually see that's we're talking millions and millions, maybe getting into the billions of peso situation. So it's advantage for people at 58. Great for us, great for me. But on the other hand, when I go to the store, it's the same. So if I pull out $200 and say I get 190 of it, right? and no fees and everything else. I make $10 profit, but I get $200 worth in peso. So I get 10,000 peso. Actually, I get more than that, but the value. So I get 20,500. But here's the deal. When I go to the store, goods have increased considerably. My cost of living has increased, and I was doing the numbers last night. My electricity is running around 7,000 a month, only because the rate has increased, because they're still using coal and all the other things, and diesel fuel and things like that to maintain the electricity. The solar I'm getting off here, I'm going to do a video on, thanks to Jason James. I'm going to do a video on this. Great idea. I never even thought about it. The cost analysis here to what the kilowatts are producing compared to what it's producing here. The benefit of having this and the kilowatt hours, what cost is it crediting to my bill, and what cost is it, and what long-term costs are going to be incurred in having that. So if I paid say $2,000 for this, when will I get my money back? So when will it be a benefit to where I get my money back? And I did some numbers this morning, just shooting from the hip, and I've gotten my money back already. I've made the $2,000 back already within the 2-year period. So it's paid for itself within 2 years. Now, granted, it needs more power, and what it's producing per kilowatt hour per day, and what I'm using per day, it's still half. It's actually half of what I need. So it's still not producing enough, and that's what I need the other battery and maybe another solar panel or two. And according to what numbers I put together this morning, which I already figured about another 600 watts is what the solar guy told me, and another 300 to 400 or 500 amp hours of battery. So, and he's exactly right. So, but I will do that. So inflation, now to buy those panels, I'm not in the U.S., I'm not in Kansas anymore. I can get the panels for a third of the price of what I can buy them here now. It's gone up that much. And the quality's not, the quality's not there. The quality's not here yet. Even though they're coming from China, and the same products are sending over there, but it's the A grade they're sending there, and then we're getting the B, C, D, E, F here. So that matters really a lot there. But I wanted to talk about this in a few minutes, because how it's going to affect other Americans also, it'll affect their paycheck. So if you're getting, it's just an example, if you're getting $1,500 a month, and you have that income of $1,500 a month on your Social Security, and say you're going to get that 8 or 9% in COLA at the end of the year, say it adds another $100, $120, $130 a month to your income, $150 a month to your income, that's great, fantastic. The thing of it is $1,500 a month. It's like anywhere, it doesn't go very far. Now, when I first moved here, it went a long ways compared, because you could take $500 out, and I could live very comfortably on that $500 and go anywhere I want and go to many places. Now it takes anywhere from $800 to $1,000 to do the same thing that I could do in 2018, and that really makes a big difference. It's just incredible. I sit there and put the numbers together. So I am going to do a cost analysis on what we're doing, what we're spending in 2017. I have all the paperwork, and what I'm spending now, and the difference in that. And I'm actually shocked on how things have increased so much that it's actually I don't know how Filipino are doing it. In some cases, Filipino are not doing it. They're turning off their power, and if they don't have they have a program, it's a program for Filipino that if they're not able to pay the bill, they'll help them along. But they can only do that a few months, and they're going to turn off their power also. Even though their bill may only be anywhere from $3 to $10 or $12, $15, some people are turning it off even if it's at $15, $20, and understandably so, because they're not making that much, and they don't have any people overseas to send money back. Ruth and I were looking at this. This bill is just completely ridiculous here. $7,140 for electricity, and I'm producing electricity. I'd hate to see what it would be, and I'll do that number, if I didn't have the solar. According to what my figures would be, it would be from what I can tell, 8 to 9,000, maybe 9,000 and above. What do you mean 8 to 9? It'd be 9,000 and above. 8 to 9, because I'm producing more power now. So it'll be 9,000 peso and above. Now, my friend across over here is American friend, which is in town, is paying about 9,000 peso for the same thing I have, same size house basically. He runs his air a lot less than I do. He's paying that amount. Even Ollie at his restaurant is paying 20,000 plus a month on his electricity, which is $400. Now it's a restaurant; he's got chillers and things, so it is vary anywhere from 20 plus or around that range, according to what he's saying. He's wanting some type of solar that he can actually help offset some of that, and I don't blame him. I would too. And you know as well as I do, even 1,000 watts can decrease. Even if this right now, the TV, the fridge, the lights, the cable, the internet, this, I can't think of anything else, is running on the solar. I can't imagine if I didn't have that now, because TV's on and it's running. It's just I have it on mute. So, and this is being charged up. Laptops burn up a lot. You guys know that too. Laptops burn up so much energy. And you have 2 or 3 laptops going on in a house. Like our have our school, it just burns up a lot. And I realize that. I saved $100 a month on electricity in U.S. by cutting out turning off the desktops. That's basically about it. I got Omer eating a pin over here. I don't know why where he found a pin on the floor and he's eating that pin. I want to thank everybody for always watching my videos.